Partisan CR that has no chance of becoming law. Why? Is he trying to help the country, or is he simply trying to appease the 30 most extreme members of his caucus? Because the same MAGA Republicans that the Speaker seeks to satisfy, the same members who seem happy to shut down the government, have already rejected his plan to avoid one. This is not.
There is important news. Americans that receive monthly benefits and a government shutdown may impact the SNAP and Medicare benefits. But the USDA has announced that more details on the next cost of living adjustment are going out. Many households will be eligible to receive a monthly benefit boost. Now, the Senate voted yesterday to advance a short-term funding measure needed to avert a government shutdown. Though not every lawmaker in the upper chamber was in support of this. The vote was 77 to 19. With all 19 people in opposition to the Republican Party. The vote sets the Senate up to a continuing resolution, which it could then send to the House to avoid a shutdown. If the Senate can pass a continuing resolution later this week, it could put pressure on the House to bring it on the floor as the lower chamber struggles to make progress on its own. Against the chaos, Joe Biden has warned Republican conservatives of their hardline antics, saying that funding from the federal government is one of the most basic, fundamental responsibilities of Congress. According to the White House, a shutdown would mean potential hardships for a wide swath of Americans, from the military, air traffic control, and even people that are seniors and Social Security beneficiaries. But the senator in the Congressional Budget Office has said there's good news. That includes Medicare recipients. Major governmental programs like Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security of a category known as mandatory spending are largely unaffected because, while Congress has indefinitely approved spending for those programs. AARP has said that even during a federal shutdown, Medicare members can still see the doctors, go to the hospital, and fill prescriptions. The organization has even said that a prolonged shutdown wouldn't be affected to affect the ability of beneficiaries to review their plans and make changes. Every year, the U.S. Department of Agriculture raises the monthly payments sent out to beneficiaries. This increase is part of a program's cost of living adjustment. It's designed to help and ensure that SNAP benefits keep pace with inflation. And thanks to a combination of inflation, related supply chain issues, food prices have steadily risen since 2020. But inflation has been slowing in the past year, and data shows that groceries are not rising as fast as they once were. Eggs are still the same price, and the USDA will begin setting the 2024 COLA adjusted benefit amounts in October. If inflation does stay at the same pace, well, households then receive SNAP who live in the 48 states and District of Columbia will see a 3.5% increase applied to their benefits. The maximum amount that an individual can receive is a lot of money. And other payments might be affected too, such as federal tax refunds, SNAP benefits, payments to retirement plans, and even education programs. It's unclear if the federal government would prioritize certain payments within these broad groups. The most likely scenario is funds will be issued chronologically according to when certain payments fall in the calendar cycle. Folks, you have attendees with the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI, and SSDI. Continue watching because you don't want to miss out on this. Now, I can't believe this. There are now brand new relief programs that are giving out direct stimulus checks to the residents. These checks are said to be worth as much as $1,000 for many low-income households. But the lawmakers have set strict requirements for these new relief programs. Guaranteed income programs give direct cash payments to recipients in order to address poverty or economic inequality. Mayors for Guaranteed Income, a national network of mayors and researchers spearheading these kinds of programs, are running temporary pilot programs across the country in an effort to address inequities and help families. The nation's largest test of whether universal basic income can reduce poverty is underway. More than 230,000 county Illinois residents applied to be part of the $42 million program, and all households that won the lottery to participate in the 2-year program recently got the first of 24 $500 monthly payments. Half of participants earned $21,000 or less, and 58% of households that are participating in the program include children. The federal government sets the poverty line at $26,000. In addition, Chicago families are testing a guaranteed income program by sending $500 to 5,000 households for a year. Illinois is not the only state that is testing guaranteed income programs. All around the Golden State, families are receiving monthly payments through their participation in guaranteed income programs. Some of the pilots have already started, like the Los Angeles County Guaranteed Income Demonstration Project, which has been sending 1,000 families $1,000. Over in San Diego County, families and individuals impacted by the crisis could be eligible for a $4,000 stimulus check. Starting this May, applications are being accepted for the county's one-time grant program. Recovery Action Fund for Tomorrow, aimed at helping the low-income Americans affected by this crisis. And county officials said more than 2,000 families meet eligibility can potentially receive $4,000 checks. Applicants will be required to provide proof of qualifications. Selections will be made at random. If chosen, those picked will have the money transferred into their bank. And when it comes to the government programs, many lawmakers disagree. Federal student loan borrowers are facing a consequential year ahead. By the end of June, the Supreme Court is expected to issue a final decision on whether the president plans to cancel up to $20,000 in student debt for federal borrowers. Making up to $125,000 is illegal.
Let me close with this. We're at a serious moment in our nation history, and it's not I mean it from the bottom of my heart. As I said last week, we remain in the battle for the soul of America. By the way, all right, God love you. Let him go. Let him go. No, 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 no.
Breaking news. New information has been released on Social Security. The Biden administration and lawmakers are working together on Social Security reform. In just a few days, checks worth up to $1,700 will be sent out to eligible seniors. And now, supplemental security income beneficiaries will get 2 checks in September for a maximum sum of $1,700. But the second check is no reason to celebrate, as it's not extra money. In months where bank or holidays occur, that pushes up the distribution date for payments. In October, SSI beneficiaries will get no payment. The maximum check is $841 in 2022 for eligible individuals for this federal program, which provides support to disabled, blind, and elderly people who have little to no income. The average monthly benefit is $624. Managing money for the 8 million beneficiaries who rely on SSI benefits can be difficult. That's because they face strict asset and income rules, many of which have not been updated since the program was created in 1972. According to research, most of the program's beneficiaries are within 150% of the federal poverty level. Because some states may supplement SSI, that may help some beneficiaries get above the federal poverty line. According to Richard Johnson, SSI just provides a bare bones support for older people and people with disabilities, and it really highlights how little support we provide for most valuable Americans. SSI benefits are long overdue for an upgrade that could be posted to change as Washington lawmakers show an increased interest in updating the program. This spring, the 2 U.S. senators from Ohio introduced a bill that will let beneficiaries set more money aside without jeopardizing their eligibility for benefits. The proposal has also drawn co-sponsors from both sides of the aisle, including Ron Wyden. Advocates hope it will be just a first step toward modernizing the program. SSI beneficiaries are currently subject to a $2,000 asset cap for individuals and $3,000 for couples. The Social Security Administration calls this a resource limit, which includes assets a person owns that can be turned into cash, like bank accounts, stock, bonds, or other property. Brown and Portman's bill seeks to raise those limits, which have not changed since 1984, to $10,000 for individuals and $20,000 for couples. The bill would also index those caps to inflation,